Everything we experience day to day goes through our filters and frames before we internalize it. Our filter is a way we perceive situations based on our upbringing, beliefs, traumas, and successes. If you grew up with an amazing, trusting father, you will naturally be more trusting of men growing up. This is a positive frame, compared to someone who experienced the opposite. If we're in a queue for a movie and hear someone say the acting was terrible compared to the previous movie, we're now watching that movie with a negative frame, being attentive to the acting. In understanding the external reality has little effect on our happiness, it allows us to focus on what really matters, the inside. How many celebrities living your dream life have committed suicide, and how many monks meditating on mountains with nothing materialistic are the happiest and most fulfilled people? The correlation between your dream life and true happiness is surprisingly lower than you may think. So how do we focus on reframing our mind into one that breeds and manifests positive outcomes? We have almost no control over negative things coming into our lives at some point, right? But what we have every single bit of control over is how we perceive the scenarios that we do encounter, how long we let it affect us, and how much we let it affect us, okay? Some people will go through adversity and they'll say, why me? Why me? Why does this always happen to me? Why can't my life just be good? And they walk around with this mindset on a day-to-day basis, right? And then they wonder why negative situations come to them, as opposed to someone who takes things on their shield and says, you know what? Unless someone I know dies, nothing can affect me because it's just a lesson to me. Yeah, I might get a bit upset by it, but I'm not going to dwell in it because I've learned something from it. Someone cheated on you or backstabbed you. It's better you found out earlier rather than later, right? Your job kicked you out. Well, maybe you can learn why they kicked you out and make sure that you're better for your next job, where you can reframe yourself and be the best version of yourself in front of them. Every scenario has a positive way of reframing it, in my opinion, unless someone's died, right? Every single scenario has a positive way you can reframe it. So the first way that you can get out of this negative cycle of thinking, guys, is associate something positive to everything negative that happens, right? And I'm genuinely not teaching you something that I myself do not fully believe, okay? Every negative thing that has happened to me in the past, I'd say I've only been like this for 6 months. Everything negative, I've taken it and I've thought to myself, okay, well, there's something positive I can associate with this. Someone's walked out of my life. Cool. Well, I'm glad you've done it earlier rather than doing it when I was more attached to you, right? Things going hard at work. Well, okay, what can I learn from this? Have I done something wrong? What could I do next time to mitigate this from happening? Me and a friend arguing. Okay, well, what's their point of view? Let me see if I can try get into their head and understand why they saw it this way. I can't think of anything negative that's happened to me in the past few months, because of the way I have to think about things. And that should tell you something. Maybe negative stuff has happened to me, but I'm not perceiving it as negative. I'm not perceiving it as negative because everything, like, let me give you another example, right? I'm flying back to London in 10 days and my boss was like, I'm really sorry, we can't get you any direct flights to London. You're gonna have to stop in Toronto for 5 hours. We're so sorry. I was like, yes. Oh, yes. I was like, do I want to get a 6-hour flight, wait 5 hours and then get a 4-hour flight? Of course not, right? But I was like, hey, now I can say I've been to Toronto. I can go into the Toronto airport, snap a few pics, breathe in Toronto air, and do you know what? I might actually quite like it. I can officially say I've been to Toronto. If I can step out the airport for a little bit, yeah, because I know being in an airport doesn't really count. But guys, you can call me naive. You can call me Mr. Positive. You can say that I'm living life through a false filter, but mate, I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. Everything that is happening around me that is negative, I either don't perceive it or I refilter it. Okay? And guys, I'm not saying this will make you always happy because everyone has their down days and I have my down days too, but I don't see my down days as a bad thing. Okay, look. If I'm feeling negative and upset, instead of sitting there thinking, fuck, my life is so shit, why am I so negative, why am I so unhappy, I think, okay, this is good. Whatever it is I'm feeling right now, let me let it filter out of me. Let me let it, all the toxins flow out. So if I'm feeling upset, I'm going to feel upset in that moment and let it come out of me because this is a natural part of being a human. If you feel lonelier, this is a natural part of being a human. Let it out of you. You're allowed to feel how you do, just don't correlate it with it being a negative scenario. Associate it with being a normal part of you as a human being, developing and learning, okay? So please find a positive way to frame everything and do not be in a victim mindset. Guys, the absolute humans that I despise being around, okay, but I love to help. The kind of humans I love to help but would never have in my personal life, in my close circle of people, are people with a victim mindset. And I know quite a lot of these people, right? They're just in this vicious negative cycle of, why is this happening to me? Why is my life so shit? Guys, there are celebrities who are living your absolute dream life, as I said, okay? And they're depressed. They are depressed and they're committing suicide at a very, very high rate. Versus monks who are meditating on a mountain every day, who feel that self-fulfillment from their internal beliefs, their internal perceptions, okay? So this should tell you there is very, very little correlation between success and happiness, right? And the only people that think there is a correlation between success and happiness are people who don't have money, are people who have not attained success yet. If you attain success coming from a good place, coming from a good mindset, then of course the success will only enhance your happiness, right? But if you're coming at trying to achieve success, which is something I've always done, at young age was just like, I'm chasing the money, and I still am, but for different reasons, right? I was always chasing the money to try live the most extravagant possible lifestyle, right? And I'm still chasing money, but now I'm doing it because the more money I make, the quicker I can retire. The quicker I can retire, the more I can do what I really love to do, which is stuff like this, okay? So again, I'm not trying to talk about myself and make myself seem like I'm amazing or perfect at these things, but one thing everyone who's met me can't deny is I'm a very, very positive person, okay? And I want everyone watching this video, if you take one thing from this video, please, just the next negative thing that happens to you, again, if it's someone's death, I really can't think of many positives from it, okay? But if it's anything except someone dying, there is a positive you can learn from it. Okay, there is a positive lesson you can take from it to either prevent something happening next time or to be better guarded when it does happen next time. Because not everything negative that happens is something we can prevent. If we got attacked on the street, for example, right? How could you take a positive from that? Of course, that's not your fault that you got attacked, but now you're more well guarded to protect yourself from that happening again, maybe to avoid that area or to be more cautious to the signs to look out for. But simultaneously, you know how to help other people from having that happen to them next time, right? You might be able to tell other people, hey, you know, when I was walking down that road at this specific time and I felt this certain way, this ended up happening to me. Just be wary of it. Who knows, that could help someone one day, right? I'm not giving you watered down mainstream advice. This is truly things I believe and truly things that I think make me so happy on a day-to-day basis, right? And like I said, even the days that I'm upset, I perceive it as just part of my journey. It's part of my growth. So that's the first thing I want you to take from this. And now let's just dive a bit deeper. And now I want to dive a bit deeper into when you do feel sad and when you do feel upset, okay? It's the most normal thing in the world to have your down days, to feel lonely, to feel like you're not getting anywhere. Everyone has it, guys, okay? Celebrities who have all the money, all the partners, and all the abundance of everything in the world sit there feeling like people are using them, okay? Because our brain has a way of finding a negative in everything, okay? Hence what this video is about. Naturally, we are wired to have a pessimistic interpretation of things because it's our survival mechanism. I've spoken about this in one of my other videos, but when we see something positive, it's almost better for us to perceive it as negative because we're protecting ourselves. It's a survival mechanism, right? So if an antelope sees bushes moving, it would rather perceive the bushes moving as being a lion there and retreat from it than perceive it being another antelope just grazing in the bushes, right? Because the benefit it receives is if there was a lion there, it gets positive reinforcement for its pessimistic thinking by thinking, yeah, I thought that was negative and it ended up being negative. So what you need to understand is we naturally perceive things negatively. So we need to find a way to positively reinforce our brain to not have this negative connotation that not only negative things happening, but also positive things happening. Guys, okay? So when you are feeling down, when you have those inevitable down days, do not see it as a negative thing. Because this is you releasing toxins from your life, right? You are literally sweating out all the negativity and toxins so that you can then filter that all out and then be in a positive place where you can carry forward your day-to-day life, right? That's everything from me today, guys. I hope you learned something.